Hey everyone, this is a little different for the channel. This is a Watterson AM radio. I did a little research. I believe it's from 1946. It's an All-American 5, so pretty simple. And yeah, I'm going to take a look at it today, see if we can get it to work. I should have most of everything to make it work, other than, this knob. I don't have a match for that. But yeah, overall it's in okay condition. There's definitely damage here and there. The top needs to be probably sanded down and refinished. I don't know what to do about this sticker residue. Over here it's got a chip taken out of it. The front's falling off a little bit, but that's something that can be glued back on pretty easy. Splitting here a little bit, but look at that, we just fixed that a little bit. But anyways, here's the back. It actually has the back, which is nice. And yeah, the other side. On the bottom doesn't have anything too notable, but it does say the model of the radio, which if I turn it upside down is model 4581. If you want to get your eBay searches or whatever going. I haven't actually looked to see if these were on eBay. Didn't really bother, because I found this one. And, the deal was pretty good, too, for what it was. I was looking at it, and I was telling the lady who was selling it, I was like, yeah, I like fixing these things up, and I like getting these things go again. She's like, well, here's what I'll tell you. I'll give it to you for $1. I'm like, well, I'd say that the tubes alone are worth that if they're good. So, heck, $1 radio. So, well, I guess without much more to say, I'll take the back off. Okay, so we got the screws out. As you can see, there's only 3. We're actually missing one over here, but it's not a big deal, honestly. It's just pretty much just a piece of wood with holes in it. And there's the AM antenna. So we'll need to remove that screw too. See if we can do it one-handed here. There we go. And there's the radio. Like I said, just your pretty much standard of fare All-American 5. This one is a little different though. It uses a field coil. So I think the next thing I want to do is pull the chassis, make sure there's nothing too outrageously bad. You can see the power cord's in fine condition here. That's probably why it's been cut. You can see the insulation's like rock hard. Got the knob off. That was actually kind of difficult. Pretty sure partially because it's Bakelite, and also it's Bakelite. I didn't want to break it. It's got a set screw, and I'm pretty sure it's deformed. Honestly, I think I heard about knobs like these shrinking over time, making it harder to remove them. But anyways, got all the screws out from the bottom. I believe they're only 3 holding it in, it looks like. So should be ready to pull out. Let's try it. Put the AM antenna back on so that it's not flopping around. I don't know where to pull, but it seems to be coming out. Alright, I'll put the case out of the way, and here we go. Gonna focus? Focus. Focus. There we go. We can carefully turn it around here, and there we go. There's our little radio. Speaker looks in good shape, no holes or cracks or anything. There's the tuning dial. I want to say there's no filament left in this light bulb. It's Let me pull it out and take a look. Oh no, there's one in there. I don't think you can see it though. No, it's not going to focus, but there's a filament in there. So that's good. And look on the underside. I'll just flip the radio up here right now, and there we go. This thing, oh nope, never mind. No, it's been fiddled with. They replaced the filter cap in it. But other than that, it looks pretty original. Let's see, we should be able to put it on its top. Yeah, it looks mostly original, other than the filter capacitor, which is probably open. It's interesting how there's just a hole where the IF transformer is. No cover over that or anything. I'm just looking over it, and it looks in pretty good shape. The power, like I said, the power cord's as hard as a rock. Definitely gonna have to find something to replace that. But overall, not looking too shabby. But yeah, they disconnected the original filter capacitor, probably because it's open, probably because it failed. Actually, if this is a it's a dry electrolytic. Okay, so it's a Sprague dry electrolytic. That probably means this capacitor is still good, actually, now that I'm looking at it, because, well, dry electrolytics, they don't dry out. If you can believe that. But I think I'll try to dim bulb it, put it on a light bulb, see what happens. Alright, so I've got the radio set up so that it's going through this light bulb. Should definitely... Yeah, here's the plug. I definitely need to build myself a tube, not a tube tester, but I can find one of those. I need to build myself a dim bulb tester. Like build one that's actually not clip leads and a light socket, but that's a later thing for a later time. So we'll plug in our light bulb. I'll plug in our thing. Nothing happens, which means this is probably turned off. Yeah, so without further ado, here goes nothing. I think it just blew out the light bulb. Huh. Let me check that. I think it just blew out my light bulb. Well, that was smooth. Oh. There we go. Oh, I didn't break it yet. Alright, and the consensus is... Yeah, it blew out the light bulb. Huh. Well, I don't have any of those. Alright. I'm back after lunch. I went ahead and grabbed a smaller light bulb. This is only a 25 watt. I checked it with the watt meter and it reads about 23 watts, so that's good. But another thing I want to check is, yeah, we're unplugged, so we're good. I want to make sure that we don't have a shortcut that caused the bulb to blow out, because, I mean, I know that there's going to be a inrush surge from the tube filaments being cold, but so it's not shorted, otherwise that would be beeping, so let's put this on ohms. Yeah, 127 ohms. Yeah, that's low, but the tube filaments are also cold, so... Anyways, we'll try this. The bulb I stuck in there, it's not the right one. The bulb that is supposed to be in there is supposed to be a 6.3 volt bulb. I believe I stuck a 12 volt bulb in there, so a little bigger. It'll cause the voltage to be different going to the tubes, but I'm sure it's not going to be enough to cause a problem. So, turn that off, plug that in. I believe we're off at the lamp, so I'll turn that on. And watch as I blow another light bulb, right? Yay, I blew another light bulb. So it looks like I gotta figure something else out. Sorry, Wes, I blew up your light bulb. It's okay, we'll eventually get more anyway, so we'll stop what we're doing now while we're ahead and figure out why it's blowing bulbs. I'm just going to hope that I'm in frame. I think I am. I haven't touched the camera, but it did turn off. But one thing I want to verify is how much voltage is on here. So I'm going to plug it in, turn on the power, so I don't have a bulb in there, so carefully touch that, and, oh, hold on, before I fry this meter, I'm probably going to have AC. Looks like it basically has the entire line on there. So that's interesting. I wonder what would be causing that. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure none of the tube filaments are illuminating. It's like treating these bulbs as a fuse. It's like I'm afraid to just short it, because I'm afraid I'll damage something else. So this has quickly become pretty jank. Since it blew out the second light bulb and I don't have any more, I grabbed some resistors. I grabbed 470 ohm half watt resistors. Oh no, wait. No, they were 4.7K half watt resistors. I tied 4 of them together to make like a 2 watt resistor that's about 1,1300 ohms. And well, now I can I'm gonna check the circuit on the radio, see where we're at, and hopefully it doesn't burn up my resistors. If something happens, I'm gonna be with them. I'm gonna be, well, it's not gonna be the end of the world. I'm just gonna be kind of upset that I ruined resistors. Well, let me fiddle with some of these wires. I think that's on the right pin. It's hard to get that in there, but I think I got it. I wonder if it blew out the tube filament. Hope it didn't. I don't have one of these. I don't drop the tube. Oh, nope. We're still okay. Heck, it could be my other clip leads. Could be this janky thing. Oh, yep, that was it. I wiggled it, now it's good. Now we have continuity. So we'll wire this back up through my light bulb, the 25 watt one. Unfortunately, that's the smallest bulb I have. That's not an LED. Alright, plugged back in. Ready to watch some resistors burn. Well, the camera's memory card turned out to be a quitter, so I'm using my phone now. So, plug this in. I'm a little nervous about this, but here we go. Well, nothing's burning. We have really only 9 watts. Ooh, those are hot. I don't want to do that too long. Alright, so where we're at. No filament glow and it's burning the resistors, so I mean, I know this thing needs recapped. I'm definitely going to do that, but I was hoping to see some life before I go ahead and recap it, so I know like things like the audio output transformer, the speaker, the IF transformers, things like that, so that I know those are good. Also, like I said, this thing's been monkeyed with before, so there very well could be something with that causing this thing not to work either. Because this filter cap's been replaced. It's been replaced with a Sprague Atom. Those don't usually... I want to say they don't usually go bad, but like I said, usually that means they do still fail. So I think I'm going to do some checking, and then is that capacitor popping out the side? No, I guess the label's off center. Yeah, we're unplugged, so just remove these wires. And, well, I'll just take a look at it for a while and see where we're at. Alright. Here we go. Fancier meter has been acquired. Put it on capacitor. Maybe we can even light this one up. There we go. What I want to do is check between negative and the blue wire. I can't read that, it fell back. There we go. Let's see. I'm gonna unwrap this vintage electrical tape. See how their solder jobs are. Well, it's not great. They at least J-hooked it. So try to get the soldering iron going here. You know what? No, I don't want to use this tip. Let's see. I think this one should do the trick. A little bit bigger. I'll give us a little more surface area to heat things up. Wait for that to warm up. I'll unwrap. Well, I'll unwrap the tape. Ooh, that looks like they cut the terminals. Yeah, that's exact. You know what? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They soldered to the capacitor, and then once they did, they snipped the terminal right off. Isn't that something? I'm gonna have to order some terminal strips for this, I think. Neaten this up a little bit. I'm also gonna be changing out all these wax capacitors because they're by this day and age they're all bad. I can almost guarantee it. So we'll slide this back onto there. There we go. Alright, we are up to temperature. Grab the blue wire that I wanted to check. So we'll tin the tip of the iron. There we go. We got the wire off. Now we can check it. Go to negative. .73 nanofarads. I'm gonna say that's wrong. Let's see. Blue is 20. Supposed to be 20 microfarads at 25 volts. Yeah. Something tells me that's wrong. I guess I should say something tells me that's bad. Let's see what the other color is supposed to be. Can I bend this any farther down? Yeah, it looks like I can. The green is supposed to be 30 microfarads at 150. And red is supposed to be 50 microfarads at 150. So blue tested bad. Guess we'll do green next since I unwrapped it. See if I can remove it from here. And again, they J-hooked it, except they didn't exactly do a great job at that. Smells vintage. So we'll put this on negative, and we'll touch this against here. Hey, that check's good. Let me check the blue again, just for giggles. Yeah, no. The blue one is testing bad, but green is testing good. Wait, green. It's actually testing higher. Should be 30, testing 50. So let's just check the ohms. Select. Should go open, right? Oh, I guess it is. So yeah, I guess that's okay. Ooh, but we got resistance across the blue, so nothing else. Blue is leaky. 28 megohms, but 28 megohms is lower than it should be. It should be open or infinite. Okay, so okay, never mind. I thought that broke off for a minute, but no, it didn't. So we'll remove the red wire. I believe I do have capacitors somewhere to replace these. Tin up the iron again real quick. There we go. Now I can check red. Put it on. Well, I guess as a start, it's not checking resistance, or it's not showing resistance on ohms, but we don't want to check ohms. We want to check capacitance. So that's testing 70. Not where it should be, but yeah, it's tired. This radio probably has a fair amount of fair amount of hours on it. And yeah, this is actually kind of what I thought it was. It's a Sprague Atom. Probably replaced that was probably from the 60s. It's like where to proceed from here. So should have a 20, something close to 20 microfarad at 25 volts. I could probably pull that out of a computer power supply. Let me see what I have around. But yeah, I'll show you. This is a Sprague Atom. Usually, oftentimes these are still good because there's no electrolyte. But I guess I guess you can't say they never go bad because they do fail. And I guess this one's failed. This could have been what caused it to burn out the pilot light. I believe. Yeah. Pretty good place to get capacitors for radios is dead computer power supplies. Now, of course, with pulling capacitors from anything, you gotta make sure that, well, A, they're discharged so you don't hurt yourself. These ones are. This thing hasn't been plugged in for years. And you also want to make sure that they're actually still good. Because you don't want to pull a capacitor out and put it in something and then have it go up in smoke in or have it just not be good, you know? You don't want to put it in like a radio like this and it has the same problem that it came in with, you know? And I'm looking at these. And yeah, I just gotta look for some good ones and then I can pick them off the board. Sorry I keep rotating the camera like that, but I can't exactly see the screen. But another good place to get capacitors for these old radios is fluorescent lamp ballasts. This was a ballast from our old bathroom light. It failed. The what are they, the triacs or transistors, I'll just call them. The transistors are both shorted. I checked them. They shorted and blew open the fusible resistor. But I can quick pull these capacitors out and see if test if they're still good. If they're still good, they'll go right in this radio perfectly. So let's start with the first one. Be able just to rock them out. Alright, there we go. Now we'll absolutely have to extend the leads, no doubt about that, but I've got hookup wire. In fact, I could probably use the wire from this capacitor. So we'll grab this, make sure we're on microfarads. Excuse me. So we'll touch those, and 42.3. I mean, it's lower than 47, but I'd still call it within tolerance for this. I mean, they're calling for a 40 microfarad, not a 47, so that should still do the job. And I'll pull the other one off. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm just heating up the joint and rocking them back and forth. So I think this is the one I already checked, but I'll just check it again. I don't remember which one was what, but yep. So that one's not good. That's good. I'm gonna check this one. Well, that one's the same, so I would say they're both good. What brand are these, by the way? I'm not sure. They have an M on the side of them, though, and an M in the square. So, regardless, they're good, so we could probably put those in this radio. There's two capacitors they're calling for, because I'm actually looking at the values on the original, not this. This one's one of the sections on this one's actually wrong. It's calling one of the sections on this was a 30 microfarad. And that's actually, you don't want to go down in value on capacitors. You always want to go up a little bit, but you don't want to like put 1,000 in there, 1,000 microfarad or anything like that in there. And also, you don't want to go too high on the voltage. They're calling these capacitors are in here. The capacitors are rated at 150 volts. These are 250, which is, well, not too bad. I'm assuming it's because that's a well, I actually don't know, because it's because most switching power supplies, they're good for 120 and 240, but I'm not too sure about electronic lamp ballasts, because I feel like I've seen those say 120 only on them. So I found this capacitor after rooting through my stuff. Unfortunately, it's not the exact value I need, but 15 microfarads is close enough to 10. Unfortunately, it's 200 volts, not 25, but that's not going to be a major problem. Ideally, you don't go that much over the rated voltage of the original, but in my case I don't have very many electrolytics at my disposal right now, this will have to do. So I'll attach leads to this like I did with the other two and go from there. I almost forgot to test this one, so we'll prop this up here. I hope you can read it. We'll just connect. I'll have to hold the capacitor. Oh, I guess I should put it in capacitor check, right? 14.28. Close enough for me. So now I can proceed with attaching the wires, which you're truly not missing much. I will make a tip though. When adding wires to something with leads this short, I actually take the wire and I make a loop so that I can put the wire through the loop, and or put the capacitor through the loop. And this capacitor wasn't actually soldered to. This was actually something I pulled out of an LED bulb that failed. I actually don't remember or maybe the internet might get a kick out of this, but it was an LED bulb where you put it in, it would light up, but it was extremely dim. So I took the capacitor out and saved it because it didn't look bulged, which meant it probably wasn't bad, which when I just was able to check with the meter, it isn't, so we can reuse it. Alright, so I got the filter caps installed. It's not the prettiest job I've ever done, but I made did with, it was like a situation of where you make do with what you got. And I don't got a lot, but looks like I got enough. So I was able to use heat shrink on these too, but I used electrical tape here because I do not believe I have heat shrink small enough that'll shrink down that wire size. I secured this capacitor with a zip tie to this bracket, which I was holding these in. These actually hold in pretty good there, so no complaints with that. Do I wish I could do this better? Yes, but I'm also not the greatest when it comes to working with point-to-point stuff because everything else really everything else I've worked on prior has been circuit boards, printed circuit boards. So with that, I would like to see if this thing will work now, or at least power on. I guess I did clip out I guess assume this is the across the line cap. It is on one side of the line going to the chassis, so yeah. Maybe I'll just try checking it with the multimeter. If it checks out, we might tack it back in temporarily, see if that'll work. So I checked this capacitor here. Ideally it should be replaced, but as of right now it still checks okay. So I just tacked it back in for now. I made it easy to pop out again if need be. I got my resistors connected back up where the pilot light would go. Electrolytics are replaced as I replaced each one, referring back to the video on how it was connected. So make sure that's off. Plug this in. What side do I have the black side on? I get that there, so plug it in. I am a little nervous, I'll give you that. On. Still not seeing any filaments, and my resistors are really hot, so wasn't the filters. I might need to find schematics for this radio. So to be continued for now. Just pull, yeah, because I don't need to touch them to know that they're hot. I don't need to hold on to them to know that they're hot. I can just feel it from the back of my finger. Yeah, because, you know, no tube filaments and full power on this. Just for the sake of this video, I might have to make it a two-parter, but I disconnected this capacitor again because if there's something wrong with it, it probably could cause the problems we're having based on schematics I've been looking at. So just look around. I have the resistor still connected. We'll plug this in and turn it on. Okay, it was hot. Yeah, I think, yeah, they're still getting very hot. I wonder if I pull the tube. I wonder if there's something with this tube, if there's something wrong with this tube. I could try heating up the filament with a battery. I'd have to think though. Well, I think I figured out why it's sending that much current through the pilot bulb. If I test across these two pins, which is the center tap, I'm looking inside the tube, it's the center tap and the one side of the filament, it's open. But if I go to, yeah, this tube filament is open. At least I think so. Let's go there. And so one side of the filament is good. So is that to the center tap? Yeah, that's to the center tap. So that side of the filament is good, but the other side of the filament is open. Huh. I wonder if it was like that, or if that happened now, or I don't know. I presume it was like that because I remember at the beginning when I turned it on, it flashed bulb and went out. So I guess all of that worked for a bad tube, huh? So I gotta get one of those. Of course, tubes are not something I have on hand. I was wondering if this was the same tube that's used in the RCA K60, as that'll be a upcoming video, but for now this will be like part one. I'll order parts. I'll order the tube, if I can talk. Yeah, I'll order the tube, and then I'll get back to this. But I want to thank you for watching, and more to come later. If you made it this far, I salute you, because this was probably going to be a pretty long video, as it took me probably most of the afternoon to figure that out.